Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Delina collection from Parfums de Marly. And if you're not familiar, I'm sure you've seen these bottles somewhere. I remember when I first got into fragrances, I remember seeing this bottle specifically, and I was like, this is so cute. Like, I just want to smell it. When I saw that price, I was like, gosh, is this something I really want to blind buy? And I did it anyway. But I've had these fragrances for a while now, like over a year, maybe like closer to 2 years, honestly. I started my fragrance collection in 2021, December of 2021. That's not my first fragrance to like really jumpstart my collection. And this is one of the first ones I bought. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my thoughts on these because I never really just made a dedicated video for these. And today I'll be telling y'all which one of the three I think is the best. Okay. So I'm gonna talk about them individually first. So I only have a sample of the OG Delina. I think I got this with one of my orders from Parfums de Marly. I think they offer you like 1 or 2 samples every time you order. But the full size bottle retails for $355 in the US anyway. And then let me read the notes to y'all. We have lychee, rhubarb, bergamot, nutmeg. Those are the top notes. For the middle notes, you got Turkish rose, peony, musk, Petalia, and vanilla. And then for the base notes, we got cashmeran, incense, cedar, and Haitian vetiver. And I haven't smelled this in a really long time, y'all. I'm gonna actually spray this on my skin though. Do I want to, or do I want to spray it on paper? Because one thing I will say about this fragrance is that it lasts a really long time. I kind of want to spray it on my skin, but yeah, I'm gonna just spray it on my skin. I'm gonna just do a little bit though. But I literally haven't worn this fragrance in like, oh, it's been over a year. It does smell really good though. It smells how I remember. This scent smells very fresh and floral upon the initial spray. Oh, did y'all hear my stomach growl? Yeah, it smells very fresh and floral. I think the lychee and the rhubarb definitely jump out, and also the bergamot, which I love. Don't really get a whole lot of the nutmeg. But the thing I noticed about this is that not in the initial spray, but when I wore this out for the first time, it kind of got like a peppery vibe to it. And I'm sure that came from one of the base notes, but it wasn't peppery to the point where it was like irritating. It was like a good peppery, but like it was like fresh, floral, and peppery. But as it dried down a little bit more, like it definitely smelled like subtly floral, but not overly floral. And this one specifically, it doesn't really get powdery, which is something that I noticed with Delina Exclusive. That's something I'm gonna talk about when we get to that fragrance. But this one definitely gave me like fresh floral vibes, and more so my taste. I don't tend to gravitate toward heavily floral scents, but this one, it has such a great amount of freshness that I do really like it, and I would consider buying a full bottle if it was something I knew I would wear often. But I think the freshness can be attributed largely to the bergamot, honestly, and probably the rhubarb and the lychee, because I don't know, it's like that combination there. Like, I know that's what I'm smelling that's bringing out this fresh vibe, but that Turkish rose is definitely coming through, and that peony as well. And you can also get some of the musk too, but one note I kind of wanted to jump out a little bit more was the vanilla. I really don't get hardly any vanilla when I smell this. Like, I would not even think that vanilla was one of the notes if I wasn't looking at it here. But this one definitely smells good, for sure. And as far as longevity goes, y'all, this fragrance lasts a really long time. It's one of those fragrances that I would say easily can last on your skin 24 hours plus. It's one of the longest lasting fragrances in my collection, even though I don't have a full bottle. It's one of the longest lasting fragrances that I've ever encountered. So you don't have to worry about that. And when you're wearing this, I definitely feel like people are going to be smelling you when you walk in the room. Like, it projects really well. And I'm saying that knowing that I only typically wear like 1 or 2 sprays, like when I wear any of the Delinas, and it's worth every bit of that $300+. So now let's go ahead and talk about Delina Exclusif, or Delina Exclusive, whatever you want to call it. And this one is a little bit more expensive than the original Delina. The original Delina retails for $355, and Delina Exclusive retails for $375, which that's very expensive for a fragrance. But y'all, I promise, when you smell these, you see why they cost so much. And the longevity alone is like reason enough for you to like splurge out on them. So for the top notes, you got lychee, pear, and bergamot. We have lychee and bergamot in the original too. And then turkish rose, oud, and incense. And then for the base notes, we got vanilla, amber, and woody notes. And y'all, I wore this fragrance a lot more when I bought it initially, but I really don't grab for it nowadays. Honestly, that's all you need. You don't even need too many sprays of that to get that smell. This is one of those fragrances, it's very strong. But when you first smell it, you definitely get the turkish rose, and the oud definitely is there. But also it has like that freshness too that the original Delina had as well. And I think that's coming from the top notes of the lychee, pear, and bergamot. More specifically, I think that's the bergamot that I'm picking up on a little bit more than the other two. But also with this scent, wasn't really getting a lot of vanilla. And also on the dry down, I don't really get a lot of vanilla and amber that are supposedly in the base notes. But it does have like a woody element too that I feel like comes through. But initial spray, I would describe it as fresh and floral, but it's also kind of powdery too. So if you don't like powdery fragrances, I might recommend that you check out the original Delina before you get Delina Exclusive, because I think it dries down to be a little bit more powdery than what it is on the initial spray. And then that's also one reason why I also would not recommend blind buying this, is because that oud also starts to become a little bit more prominent when it dries down. And for some reason, I used to love the initial spray, and then the more I wore it, I realized like I really didn't like the dry down as much. Like I don't hate it, but I realized I have to get more into fragrances that I'm not really a oud lover. So I kind of shy away from fragrances that have oud in it, because it just, I feel like oud is one of those notes people either love or hate. And I think it's one of those ones that I want to stay clear of. But I think this is mixed so well together that it kind of disguises the fact that it's oud, because that turkish rose note is very prominent. It's there. And I think it does cover up that oud, so it doesn't really have that animalic smell that oud usually has. So it's like still floral, but you can definitely get the oud in there, which I think is what makes this fragrance unique. Yeah, that oud is just so strong that I just don't really like it as much as I thought I did. But honestly, it's still one of those fragrances that I would definitely recommend that you at least try out. I would not blind buy it because of the oud, but this fragrance here, I would say it's more of a special occasion fragrance. This isn't a fragrance that I'll wear every day, because also just the price point alone, like with fragrances like that, you don't want to just be wearing it anyway. You want to say your good stuff for like special occasions. I mean, unless you got it like that, I mean, hey, you can wear whatever you want to wear. But I would definitely say that I would use this for like special events and whatnot. But yeah, sorry y'all if this video seems kind of unstructured. I've never really compared like 3 different fragrances in a video. But as far as longevity, definitely there. Yeah, I remember one time I wore this fragrance, and I told y'all with the Delina scents, or really any scents of Parfums de Marly, I'll wear like 1-2 sprays max. Cause if you go any more than that, you're probably gonna give yourself a headache and everybody around you a headache, because it's one of those beast mode scents. I wore this one day, and I swear the next day I could still smell it on me, and that was after showering like 2 or 3 times. Cause like I worked out with it on. I didn't wear it to a public gym. I worked out at home. And I was definitely sweaty, showered, still smelling on me. I could not seem to get off of me. And then the next day, like I showered again and I was still smelling. And I was like, dang, like true beast mode as far as the longevity goes. Like if you spray this on you, beware that it might not come off for a little while, and probably even longer if you wear it on clothes. And I just wear it on my skin, and you know on clothes it lasts a lot longer, but beware. But if you like this scent, you don't have anything to worry about, because it's definitely gonna last for a long time. But definitely recommend this as one fragrance that you try out at least once in your lifetime, because I can see why people definitely love it, but I can also see why people don't really like it as much. And personally, I prefer the OG Delina, just because I'm not really a powdery fragrance girl, and this is like a little too powdery and floral for me. But this one that I still am glad that I have in my collection, that I can like just grab whenever I feel like the occasion is fitting for it. And now let's talk about the third Delina, Delina La Rosée. All right, I got the little bottle because I didn't even know initially that they even offered the smaller bottles. And the price point for this, I think when I purchased it, it was $190. And I noticed one thing, that they're not always available on the Parfums de Marly website. So I guess you kind of just got to get it whenever you get it. Let me see. So I think I found it that time. I think I hit like Discover or something. And then there was like a smaller bottle available. I'm trying to see if it's on here now. I don't even see it on here now. But the larger bottle retails for $335. So it's definitely the cheaper option of the three. It has that same Delina DNA that the rest of them have. But this was also different than the others. But I think it more closely reminds me of the OG Delina. And this is also a fragrance that my mom really loves. Okay, for the top notes, it has lychee, pear, and bergamot. It's the same exact top notes as Delina Exclusif. And then for the middle notes, you got turkish rose, peony, watery notes, and floral notes. And then for the base notes, you got white musk, woody notes, and Haitian vetiver. And in this one, I definitely wore this one more than I wore the other two. I'm gonna spray it on the test strip though, because I haven't worn it in a while, but I've definitely smelled it because my mom loves to wear this. She ran out of this bottle so quick. I was like, Mama, how much you spraying? Because you don't need that much. You need like 1 or 2 sprays. Yeah, it does smell really good. Okay. So when I smell this one, I think more, it's like with every one of the Delina sprays on the initial spray, you definitely get that bergamot, which I really love. And it makes me really like lychee as well, because you can definitely smell this too. The pear is there, but it's not super strong. That turkish rose is also there, but I don't feel like the turkish rose note is as strong in this one as it is with the other ones. And then it's definitely sweetened, which I think is coming from like some of those other floral notes. And it also does have like a very fresh vibe, which is coming from watery notes. I don't really know what watery notes mean, but when you smell this, it kind of makes sense. And then it does have a musky vibe to it too. And I guess you can kind of get like the hints of like the woody notes and the Haitian vetiver too, but like not too much. If I would describe this fragrance upon the initial impression, I would say it's like a fresh, light floral. It's not like heavily floral, and it's not powdery at all. And I think that's why I really like this, because for me, I personally love like gourmand scents. And if it's not a gourmand scent, I prefer something that's more on the freshy side. And this one is definitely more on the freshy floral side, which I don't mind at all. But yeah, it smells so good. I'm gonna have to start wearing this again, because it really does smell good. And then as far as the longevity, it's still there with the other ones. I still think Delina Exclusif is probably the one that lasts the longest on me, but this one also lasts pretty long too. So easily you can wear it a whole day and not have to worry about it. And when you're wearing this, people are definitely gonna be smelling you when you walk through, especially if you go above that 2 recommended sprays that I give you, because if you wear more than 2, like everybody's gonna be smelling you. There's also like 2 max for me, because I can't, because I might get tired of the fragrance and everybody else around you might get tired of it too. But this one smells really good. And if I was to compare all 3 of these to one another, I would say that Delina La Rosée is definitely my favorite, just because I love like that freshness that it gives. And on the dry down, it still kind of remains fresh, but you kind of get more of that rose in the dry down, but it still seems fresh. It's not like too floral, which I really like. But if you're someone who prefers more floral notes, I would definitely recommend getting Delina Exclusif over this one, because this one definitely has that floral vibe, but it's more fresh floral. Delina Exclusif is more like floral but like it does have the freshness too, which all of these do have like a hint of freshness, just because like their top notes are notes that I would typically classify as fresh. But the dry down is where I think you start to notice a little bit more of the differences, because like I said, with Delina Exclusif, you get that rose and that ooh, which definitely stands out, but like I think that's an acquired taste. I don't think everybody likes that. And then the Delina La Rosée and Delina, like the OG Delina, they smell more similar to me, just because I feel like that oud is what makes this kind of a little bit different than the others. But if I were to rank these 3, I'll pick Delina La Rosée first, then OG Delina, then Delina Exclusif. And honestly, you just look at the prices too. This one is a lot cheaper than the others as well. So it's also ranked in like cheapest to most expensive as far as my preference goes too. Which, I mean, it didn't really play into it, but definitely something to consider. But have y'all tried out these 3 fragrances? If so, let me know which one is your favorite in the comments below. And if y'all like this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel and check out my reviews playlist, because I do plan on making a little bit more fragrance videos, because I have a lot of fragrances in my collection and I do realize that I haven't reviewed every one of them. So I might go back and just review some of the ones that I haven't reviewed before, just to like give y'all some ideas on what y'all should try. But I will see y'all back here next time for my next video. Bye.